Back in the 90s, I lived in Santa Cruz, in a house off Seabright with a purple door. And I lived in that house with 2 other girls, Jenny and Delia. And I had a red car that had faded to pink, with a red interior that had faded to orange. And it had an ultra vivid scene cassette stuck in the tape deck. And that was pretty much the only thing I ever got to listen to. And I had a boyfriend that I thought was pretty awesome. But we only started dating after I had this dream where he came to me as a snake, which sounds stupid to say, I know, but he came to me in the form of a snake. And I don't think anything really sexual or exciting happened, but just after that dream, he just seemed pretty different to me, and that was when I agreed to date him. But anyway, I probably shouldn't have. I think it was probably a warning. Not that I believe in that kind of crap. But there you go. So I'm living in this house, and I have my little life. I'm going to UCSC at that time. My house with the purple door, and the ladies, and boyfriend, and car. And my mother, my mother was dying, which is why I had transferred to UCSC. She had the AIDS. And so she'd been sick on and off for a while, which is what happens with people in the later stages. And she was doing pretty well. And one night I was at my boyfriend's house, and I got a really unexpected call. She had gone in for some sort of test, and I guess she just never came out again. And there had been a drought that year, and this was the night that the drought broke. I mean, there was just thunder and rain and lightning, and folks in the Bay Area know, and in Santa Cruz know that we don't often get that kind of stuff. So it was a really dramatic night already. And then I got the call that my mother was dead, and I was at my boyfriend's house. And so he drove me home, and my friends ushered me around. And my little pink car with the orange interior was at my boyfriend's house, and I didn't have it. So a couple days later, they pulled together a memorial service for my mother, who had it so planned out that it was able to be pulled together really quickly because all the plans had been made in advance. But she pulled it all together, and so all we had to do was show up. And so my boyfriend drove me to the memorial service. And right after the memorial service was over, and we have the receiving line where everybody kisses you and rubs your arm and all that crap. He drives me back down to Santa Cruz because the memorial service was up in Marin, where my mom was living. And so he drove me home and to the little house with the purple door. And my pink car with the orange interior was still at his house, with the ultra-vivid CD cassette firmly lodged in the tape deck. And then he dumped me. He dumped me right there, and there I was, in the house with the purple door, with no mom, and no boyfriend, and no car. And then I found out that I'd lost my wallet. And that was when I entirely lost my shit. I lost it. I'd kept it cool up till that point. I didn't cry. I was cool. I was mellow. I wasn't going to show it. But when he dumped me, that was when I really let loose. And I couldn't even put on my shoes. I just remember just walking around trying to put my shoe on, and I just kept falling. I would just try to put the shoe on, I would just fall. And so Delia came home, and Delia heard me weeping in the other room with the shoe. And my boyfriend was still there, my ex-boyfriend then. And she comes in, and she's a big girl. I'm not saying she's fat. She's just the kind of lady who walks in her room and she owns the room, She comes in and she's like, "Give me your fucking car keys." And so we took his car, his precious, precious car, which was some, Forerunner thing. thing that he'd spent all his money on. I don't freaking know. But it was like this big fancy car that he was really proud of. And we took it and we drove all over town in that thing. And I tried to learn how to smoke. It didn't work. And, we blew out his speakers and drove through puddles and got it all dirty and probably left food in it. And I went and picked up my car, and I think Jenny ended up driving the car home because she wasn't going to let me drive in my state. And so that was that. That was where I got the line, "Go to hell and leave me with the keys to your car." And then, after that happened, Delia left town. She moved away, and she just kind of uprooted and decided she didn't want to be around anymore. So she, I heard she had been a nanny for Meryl Streep for a while, and then she was flying supplies into no-fly zones for the Red Cross. And she was just gone. She never, returned email or letters or anything. Nobody knew where she was. And I felt really abandoned. And then a few years ago, I guess it was a year ago, she found me on the internet, and she sent me an email. And she said, how you doing, and whatever. So I sent her kind of a cagey reply, like, "I'm doing fine." And then she sent me this really long email back that was really detailed, and sent me a picture of her kids. She has 2 kids. And I never replied. I kind of figured, fuck you, lady, you want to cruise out of my life, that's fine, you do that, that's awesome, have a great life. It's my turn.